Today we're going to look at blunder number 2, um, the green area mess. And so now we are looking at the west side, beautiful green, south side green. We're supposed to have a similar green on the east side. If you're wondering why we're seeing a blank wall, there's a story behind it. There's supposed to be a huge bay window out here connecting completely to the outside world and green. And I'll share the story of how this became a wall instead of a window connecting to the outside world. First, I'll show you the view of the green outside. This is how it is on the outside, beautiful green. And we're supposed to have a nice view of this from the inside room. So far so good. The challenge was that from the beginning we've been asking them to give access to the terrace so that we can have this view of the beautiful green from the top. The staircase would give a nice view of this green around from the roof top, and we wanted to have a canopy or something like that for non-summer seasons. It would have been beautiful. That was the idea, and they were aware. Somehow it never went back to the architecture team, and with great difficulty we added a staircase. Their initial idea was to put it alongside the wall, and we told them with a big window over there, as soon as somebody comes to the first floor they'll be seeing the underneath of the staircase, and from that room only staircase and underneath would be visible for about 3 feet. We weren't for it, and also it will block this nice view. This window would have been useless, and this would have been a wall which makes it a bit more uglier from inside. The other option was probably here, but there was no support. The third option was move to all the way to the right side, but it was straight. There's no turn or anything, like just straight. We had all this conversation in December, and Mr. Sudhir suggested we can even extend this a little bit to the right to align with see that windowsill over there. We can move a little bit to the right, put some cantilever support, and that way the staircase is not visible, and the window would provide a beautiful view of things. This was all in December, and around February time frame, since they don't share the site diagrams, I come and visit the site often. When I look at the diagram, staircase was nowhere there. And in February, I believe I asked them, hey, please share the details of the staircase. And they said, it's not urgent, we'll do it later, this time. So, given it was, given they were confident, I thought I should let them. It's after all GNA, and they know what they're doing. And finally, in early September, I believe I had to go to Bangalore for a week or so. Until then, I was here for the most part because there were so many mistakes happening. What was promised and what was delivered at the site were polar opposites. And it is okay if it looks good at least, but it was not. It was horrible. It was done like as if the work is being done for a budget of 10 lakhs or 15 lakhs kind of. So what happened was, the structural engineer had given a diagram where there were 2 pillars in that corner, 2 pillars right underneath here, and 2 more heavy pillars of 10 feet here. So pretty much the entire window would have been covered by pillars. And I couldn't see the diagram because they don't share it with us. So I came back from Bangalore. I see this new structure. I'll share the pictures. And I called Mr. Namith frantically, no response. I sent multiple WhatsApp messages, no response. And then I asked the team over there, what's going on? Please tell us something. And then Sudhir visits the site. By that time, the contractor had done half the work. They said they can move the stairs here or move it outside. They couldn't change the turn. They cannot pull it outwards and at least make it straight. I said, this is all fixed. and there's nothing that can be done. And with great difficulty, uh, they accepted that they will add a support structure to the wall here and remove the pillars in between. That way at least you can recover some portion of the wall, and if we need a window we can have a smaller window. But whatever dream they sold us on in December is not possible anymore. It was it's like yet another dagger, um, and I got so upset and so disappointed with the way they were treating us, as if you promise one thing, you deliver exact opposite, and worse, they were pretty casual about, yeah, this is what we can do, given where we're at. That I said, you know what, if all of you can screw it up, let me also screw it up. I'll just put a wall in there. And what's funny is when Namith came in October, he was like, hey, there was supposed to be a window here. Why is there a wall? I was like inside thinking, bugger. I sent you so many calls and messages frantically. You didn't bother to respond. You promised me a nice huge wall, and you constructed a mess over here. I had to fight with you guys to remove half of it, and then you're asking me what happened. Why is there a wall here? That's how they operate. I know where the challenge was. Whatever discussion we had in the architects last December never made it to their architecture. Whatever files they had for us, whatever items they're supposed to track for us. And this part was all done by a structural engineer who never visited the site. Somebody told him they need a staircase, he had a staircase. He didn't even know there was a window. And the intern that was working in the architecture team handling our project. Mind you, we went there because it was Namith or one of the seniors who will be handling. But no. And that person didn't even see and sent it to the site, and contractor, given that the spec was given, he built it. And that's how I ended up with a wall over here. So the lesson for you in all this is, my recommendation is, it doesn't matter how good, how able the architect is, make sure they share every diagram with you. In my case, except for the initial facade and the window, none of it is shared. Ask them to at least share the engineering diagrams. They share with the site engineer if it's too difficult to share these kind of diagrams. The junior architect / intern in the team said that's only between me and the site engineer and not for client consumption. Then how would the client know? As Mr. Sudhir and Namith multiple times, until I put an ultimatum on August 25th saying that, sorry, August 23rd, I believe, either you guys give it or you guys are out of the project. And then on 26th, they gave a majority of the diagrams. It's almost 1 year, actually not almost, 1 year since inception, they didn't even share the diagrams. So make sure you get all the diagrams, your reviews, you sign off, you approve, and still have your own engineer monitoring them. Don't rely on the contractor or his engineers. Because in spite of all this, they screwed up. The blunder number one is about how they screwed up after they shared the site diagram, promised something and did something else. Hopefully you found this useful, and if there are any questions, put in comments, and the next would be probably the south side slanting roof, and how the slanting roof started with slanting roof became a balcony, back to a slanting roof, and then without our knowledge they made it a balcony, and then we had to force a slanting roof again, and the weird angle they came up with.